it's Gina B and welcome to another episode of Ginas Cucina, and that's Gina's Kitchen in Italian. All right, guys, this is a special episode because it's answering one of my most common questions that people ask me from the tribe, and that's what to eat before and after working out. But before we get into that, don't forget, guys, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, give me feedback. Put some comments in below and let me know what you guys want us to cook up or give you info on. And of course, a little sneaky, shameless plug. Guys, our Be Active t-shirts are available on our site now at www.uptothebeat.com in black and white, and I am loving it. I'm gonna cook in it today. So before I get into what kind of snacks I have right in front of me and what you can have as a pre or post-workout snack, I think it's really important that you guys know that for a pre-workout, it's not a necessity. If you're finding you need that energy or that fuel, then go ahead. Of course, have a little snack. However, if you like me, I prefer to work out on an empty stomach, you don't have to have one. It's really about listening to the hunger signals in your body. Of course, as a post-workout snack, I tend to have something small, especially if I know I'm gonna have a really long gap between my next meal after my workout, and especially if I've done some strength training. Often, if you do only a small amount of cardio, there's usually not enough necessity for you to actually need to refuel, because if you're gonna eat another couple of hours, then your dinner or your lunch or the next meal will be enough for that. So for an awesome, quick and easy pre-workout, so say for example, you've woken up, you're ready to work out, but you want something that's just gonna tie you over until you have a proper breakfast, easy as anything, a banana, or even just half a banana. Sometimes if I don't feel like working out on an empty stomach, half a banana will do me, and then I might use the other half for my breakfast or something like that, or use it later in the day. Another option, these delicious jewels of goodness, Medjool Dates. And I could normally have one, perhaps two. But again, if you're like me, maybe sometimes you won't feel like working out on a full stomach. Those types of things are really good because they won't occupy a lot of that stomach space and won't make you feel bloated, but it will give you that much needed glucose or glycogen to boost that energy so that you can have something to work with for your workout. Especially if you know you're gonna work out for 60 minutes or more in cardio or a decent strength training workout. We want to have enough energy for that. Another option, guys, even one of these, which is really delicious. Sometimes if you want to work out in the afternoon, for example, you're not going to go on an empty stomach all day long. So maybe you've had your breakfast, maybe you've had your lunch, and then you're going to work out sort of the late afternoon, and maybe you're a bit hungry and you're not sure if you're going to have enough energy to work with before dinner. So one of these, I love rice cakes. I find them so easy, such a great carb source, and also low in calories. All I've done is basically spread about a teaspoon of peanut butter and 3 slices of banana, and that's going to give you healthy fats, a little bit of protein, and the carbs that you need to give you some energy. Another option, which I love as a post-workout. So these are now, I'm gonna go into post-workout. Post-workout, what I really want to look for is I wanna replenish my glycogen stores with some carbs, but I also wanna give some protein to my body. So that way I can also retain more muscle. I'm gonna be more satiated, and it's gonna take me right through to the next meal, especially if I've just had a heavy strength session or a really long cardio session. But to be honest, pre and post workout for me is going to be more relevant to having when you're doing a strength training session as opposed to cardio. But if you do a really long cardio stretch, like you're running or you're doing a really long plus 60 minutes or more, then you're gonna need to replenish that glycogen. There's often that myth that we really need to eat something before and after, and I think it's something that you need to be aware of, that sometimes we just need to get in tune with our hunger signals, is what I'm trying to say, but also our energy levels. Like, how do we feel? Do we feel like we can work with what we've got? And if you do, maybe there's no need to work with anything at all. So, as a post-workout, as I was saying, I love having carbs and fats. So we've got rice cakes here, and I've got just some cottage cheese and a slice of tomato with some salt and pepper, and it is so delicious and satiating. Another option in the afternoon I love is some Greek yogurt. So super natural, low in sugar, full fat, because I want to get that protein source and also calcium. Now, if you are intolerant to dairy, you can also omit that and just do some coconut yogurt. That's another option. So a plant-based yogurt. Some countries even have almond yogurt. I've been seeing that in Sydney here in Australia, springing up in grocery stores. What you really have to be aware of is that a lot of these flavored yogurts contain so much sugar. So we really want to keep it 5 grams and under per serve if you're looking at those metrics. So I've just added a little bit of berries to that and good to go. You don't need any extra sweetness because guys, you are sweet enough. So some Greek yogurt and berries right there as a great post-workout snack. Now, so you've seen what I have pre-prepared already, but I'm going to take you through one of my easiest post-workout shakes. So as I said to you, I really sometimes don't like to eat in the morning before working out. I am a lover of morning workouts for me personally, but you know, whatever I like doesn't mean that you guys have to like that, okay? So I love working out first thing in the morning. I think it's because I just don't give my brain a chance to think about what it's about to do. So that way I'm ready to commit to my workout and get a sweat on. So when I come home, I am usually quite ravenous, and sometimes I don't want to eat such a heavy meal like eggs and toast straight away. So often I just want to replenish some carbs and some protein. Again, I'm really honing in on that. So I'm going to take you through a quick and easy berry blast. And basically, I'm going to get some almond milk. For me, I usually use about a cup of almond milk. And I love this one from Califia Farms. So usually a cup of almond milk. And again, you can just choose however much you really want to. If you want a little bit more, it just be a bit runnier. I like mine quite thick, so I add a lot of ice. But yeah, it's a delicious thing to have, and I feel like I'm getting like a little treat as well. All right, to that, I'm gonna have half a cup of frozen berries. So not only is this easy, because we've always gonna have frozen berries in my freezer, because it's just easy if anything's out of season, but if you've noticed, berries tend to be really expensive. So by having the frozen kind on hand, you're not losing any kind of nutrition, but you're also gonna just have the convenience, and it's budget friendly. So I'm gonna add those in. Okay, this is probably gonna make a big, there we go. Oh yeah, I told you. Okay, bit of mess there. All right guys, so after that I add 1 scoop of protein. Now on our blog, we've written a blog about what protein powders are good for you. Supplementation, I personally don't believe is necessary unless you want to or need to get supplementation because you don't get it from your diet. And sometimes protein is the hardest thing to get in the morning or after a workout. We don't always feel like eating cottage cheese or pieces of meat or chicken. So a supplement from protein as a protein powder for me is a really easy go-to. I use a plant-based protein, a vanilla flavored one. This is found here in Sydney by Tropika. But really, I just try to find as less ingredients as possible that's featured on the back. So whenever I read a label, I just want to see how many ingredients. If it's got a lot of ingredients, it's usually one that I like to stay away from. This one doesn't have that many ingredients. The reason why I choose plant-based is just because of flavor, to be honest. I am not vegan, vegetarian, or dairy intolerant, but I choose almond milk and I choose a protein powder that is plant-based just for taste. It makes me feel less heavy, but you can also have a whey protein. You can use really any flavor here. I'm going for a vanilla because vanilla and berries just goes so well together, but you could use a chocolate just as a reference. Okay, so 1 scoop of protein powder. Now, another thing I'm gonna add, chia seeds are incredible for protein, extra fiber, which is so good, and you know, a little bit of omega-3 as well. So important. And I'm gonna use a tablespoon of these. And when you blend it, honestly, you don't even taste it. I know some people don't like the texture of chia seeds, but in a shake like this, you won't really see or feel much of a difference. It's usually you'll feel it if you leave it in there, it becomes thicker. Okay, this teaspoon is not going to be very easy, but wow, yes, we got it. All right, I was very worried that that was just gonna go everywhere. Chia seeds everywhere isn't a good time. All right, so that is the ingredients. Super simple, frozen berries, almond milk, some protein powder, and chia seeds. And I'm gonna add ice because I like things icy. As I said, I like it nice and thick, so I'm gonna get some ice. Here's some we prepared earlier. All right, there we go. Now, this is a super great little system. It's the NutriBullet, but any blender, any smoothie maker will do. I just like it because it's super handy, nice and easy, and doesn't take up much kitchen space because my kitchen ain't that big. So I like just that at the back, that I can just leave it in the corner. Nice and easy. Give it a little shake. And sometimes I may need to add a little extra ice, but it just depends because I want it super thick. I am so obsessed with getting it super thick. All right. Oh yes. Can you see the thickness? That's the kind of thickness I'm saying. I'm gonna do it a little bit more so that there's no ice chunks. Now the best thing about this thing, to be honest, is that this doubles as my cup. And I was gonna do it all nice and pretty and show you guys how it could fit into a beautiful little mason jar. But you know what? We don't have to be perfect here on our channel because this is how it's gonna be in real life. I'm just gonna drink it straight from this. That usually doesn't happen. But let me tell you, it is so delicious. Super delicious. And let me tell you, this is a meal in itself. Honestly, it's so good. And sometimes this is actually gonna be doubling as my breakfast. So sometimes this is so filling enough that I really won't need to have breakfast. But you could also split this in two if you want to have less. It's all about portion control, guys. So you really just need to know how much works for you, how much you're going to feel is enough to replenish those energy stores to take you through to the next meal. So there you have it, some simple, easy pre and post workout snacks. You don't need to think too much about it. Do what works right for you and think about whether it even is necessary for you and your workout goals to have a pre and post workout snack. But if you're looking for something that takes less than 5 minutes to do, here you go. So guys, I will catch you for another feast or drink another day. Bye for now.